Hello, this is Kevin with the Healthy Omnivore, and today we are on day 6. We're almost done. We're on day 6 of the 7-day healthcare e-course. And today I wanted to go through with you a little bit more on proper movement on the Healthy Omnivore routine. Remember, we pull, we push, we squat, we do a yoga movement, we do a static stretch, and the primary purpose is to meet the goals and needs of your everyday life. The reason I put this together the way I have is because you need to combat what's going on with the technology era, and so this is going to be a great program to improve your posture, but it's also going to keep you very balanced. It's going to improve your aesthetics. It's going to improve your range of motion, pretty much everything in a short period of time. 10 minutes minimum, 20 minutes maximum. Each specific set is going to be around a minute, but you do not have to focus on a minute because sometimes your leg workout is going to go over, sometimes your upper body movements are going to be under, your static stretch can be under, your yoga movement can be under, it could be over. If you're really getting into yoga, you go into advanced movements, you hit each side, you might be over 30 seconds on each side. So it doesn't really matter. The idea is that you do want to be pulling, you do want to be doing some pushing, you want to be squatting, a yoga move, and you want to get that static stretch in. So today we're going to go through at least 3 times. I don't want to make the video too long, but I do want to actually show you some new yoga moves. I also want to add another modality in because I want to make sure that there's no reason that you don't have enough moves, that you don't understand exercise progression, maybe even talk a little bit about time under tension, resisted range of motion, tempo, things like that, things that will really benefit you in the future. And I have to let Hansel out, the cat. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, buddy, you're out. Come on, there you go. Sorry about that. Okay, so no cats now. So let's get started. Remember, we've got the pull, the push, the squat, yoga, static. So I'm going to start with a movement that's actually going to be a row. I'm going to use my total body for resistance, and I'm going to go ahead and use this jungle gym. Now remember, whenever you're working against load or with load, and you have the opportunity to work against gravity, momentum is your enemy, okay? So you do want to be under control at all times. Now remember, we've already been doing the dumbbell row. This is the exact same thing, except I have to line up the muscle fibers against the resistance. So, I want to try to finish about 90 degrees. Try to keep your body straight. But let's say I got tired, okay? This is easier. Now I'm not pulling my entire body. Okay? Keep the body straight, don't creep the neck. All right. Okay, I want to introduce the fit ball. We haven't done anything with the fit ball yet. This is an anti-burst fit ball. It'll handle all sorts of weight. If you don't get anti-burst, it won't, and they can pop on you. I don't have any challenges with this to handle my own weight, and I have 90-pound dumbbells, and I'll have no issues. Let's go ahead and actually, I'm going to do a push-up on the ball, and I want to convey the message. When you actually do a workout and you have to work the stabilizers a lot, you're going to lose 30 to 40% strength. So I'm going to be weaker on this for a push-up than I would without the ball. I'm also going to show you how to use this for dumbbell chest press. I'm going to be weaker. I'm just going to lose 30 to 40% of my strength because I'm creating all this force here to stay in the ball and to work my core, my glutes, the hamstrings. All right, so a lot of stabilization going on with the upper body when I just do the regular push-up. Keep the body as straight as possible. Keep your core tight. I like to keep my butt up a little bit if I feel like I'm starting to drop my hips. Okay, that's enough of that. Okay, we go to the squatting movement. I'm going to add a little bit heavier power block. This is about 50 pounds. And every now and then you want to try to work on picking stuff up off the ground. So you want to work on getting that perfect postural position. You want to work on getting the proper stance. Remember, as I move my leg away from midline, I rotate out a little bit. Keep the knee over the second, third toe. High straight ahead, lead with the butt, tighten the core, the glutes, pull out the bottom. Finish here at the top, pull those blades back, don't go here. And you want to keep those eyes straight ahead, just tap, back up. Tap, back up. See what it looks like on the side. Tap, back up. See how I finished with the blades at the top? No stress on the low back. So let's say the weight was further down. We may want to get to that point where you actually get a little tilt at the bottom, but you need to be protected. Slow and controlled. Tension on the muscles, not the tendons, not the ligaments. It's all about contractile tissue, not connective tissue. Eyes straight ahead. Drop down. I have to flex a little bit in the spine. Tighten the core. Blades back. Blades back. Try from the side. Okay, let's do some more advanced yoga moves. So we'll do a side angle pose, and that's going to look something like this. If I'm going to the right, my foot is straight this way, my back foot's going to be 45 degrees. My legs will be straight. You'll actually feel like your upper leg is pulling back, your front leg is going forward. At that point, I go here, I rotate my head, look at my fingers, then I'm going to bend here, and as I do that, I start rotating and looking to my hand. I like to use the back of my hand on my shin or my ankle to give me a little leverage, and then think about lengthening out. 3 breaths. Rotate. So now I'm going to go 45 degrees here. Turn my foot all the way here. Legs straight. Now, I really like this one because I've had issues with my neck and my right shoulder, as you can see. And it really... See how I tried to get a little bit more range of motion on each breath? So I could move over a little bit more, lengthen out a little bit more on each breath. Okay, so that was a side angle. Let's go ahead and stretch out the quadricep. You can do this on the ground, and in some ways it's actually better, but if there is a little challenge of getting on the ground and off the ground, you can do it standing. But I'll show you all the challenges I have with clients when they do it this way. Do not reach for the opposite leg. Above the ankle, knee, even with the other knee, your body is straight, then you pull back. Don't extend the low back. Do not lean forward. I see a lot of people, look at my flexibility, but look how far they move their upper body. You're only trying to move here and here. What you want to stay away from also is this. Put all that stress on the knee joint. All right. Then once again, 3, 5 deep breaths each side, and you move on. Okay, and do both sides. Okay, so that was one cycle. So let's go ahead and go back. So let's say coming around again, I'm a little fatigued. Go up just a little bit. And I'd rather do proper movements with perfect mechanics than actually have horrendous mechanics and teach my body improper movement. So it's almost where my hands are in my armpits here. My feet are just underneath my hands there. I lean back. Like I said, this is an easy one to do if you put these in your door. So let's say you did that, you got tired, but you want to do a few more reps, so then you add that squat. You're still working that row movement. Okay? Okay, pushing. We've already done the push-up on the ball, a lot of stabilization, but there's also some things you can do here. I'm actually going to put on the website, underneath this specific video, I'll put links if you want to take a look at some of this equipment. I'll try to find exactly where I purchased these, and then you can go take a look at them. But, so, this is the jungle gym. And I'm going to actually show you same move I did with the ball, but now just a little different for stabilization. Just as much as it's hitting your chest and your shoulder girdle, a lot of core. Your body's going to want to collapse. And obviously you don't start doing ball push-ups or push-ups on the jungle gym until you've been doing the regular push-ups for lots of reps, Hindu push-ups, dive bomber push-ups, and maybe even the jackknife, and start working on 90-degree push-ups like on a bench, because there's so much stabilization going on there. So it's that. So let's go ahead and we're going to add a squat movement. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a pull with the squat movement. Regular squat with a swing. You have to be in control, and I'm not using my shoulders necessarily to pull the weight. I'm using my hips to fire the weight. Give you a few from the side. Okay. Okay. So now we're to yoga. We're going to do a move that's kind of similar to the side angle pose. It's a side lunge pose. Stand here, look away. Hip width apart with the feet. Step back like you're going to lunge, but you don't lunge. You actually drop your foot, turn it 45 degrees. Keep the knee, ankle over the midfoot there. Look over your shoulder. Same move. As you're coming down, you rotate and you look to your hand. Switch it. So you can see this is my tough side. Everybody's going to have one, I imagine. Lengthen out. Really try to open that shoulder up. A little bit more. Okay. Let's go ahead and stretch. I'll go ahead and go piriformis / hamstring stretch. There's the piriformis pretzel stretch. There's the hamstring. Okay. Pretzel. Oh, I did some lunging and I haven't been doing the stretch, so I'm really tight. There you go, straight out. All right. Okay. So let's try something a a little different for pulling. I mean, you have a ton of different moves. You have moves with dumbbells. You have the moves with the straps. I just want to show you some other things that you could do. I mean, this is very advanced, but I just want to show you it's kind of endless if you do the things correctly and you work on it. Let's say you're somebody who, so you know, I'm just, like, I'd rather not have to run. I don't have to. I don't think it's that important. I mean, running or running hills, sprinting, that's one thing, but jogging, not so much. But let's say you want to get some cardiovascular. So whenever you hit the legs, it's going to be pretty cardiovascular. I don't mean walking or necessarily even jogging. I mean really working the legs. Make that big monster muscle work. So let's do a one-arm snatch, which is a movement that you fire from the ground and then the weight ends up here. But when I say from the ground, that's probably kind of inaccurate. But the idea is once the weight gets about the knee level, you fire the hips and you finish here. So let's take a look at what that's going to look like. Now look, I realize this is advanced. Once again though, I just want to show you all the different options. And this is a pulling movement, though you're actually creating some plyometric / explosive / squatting / deadlift type of moves with it. So it's a phenomenal move. One armor, so it's unilateral training versus bilateral. And then when I come up, I'm slowly picking something off the ground. You never, ever pick something up quickly off the ground, ever. Always slow. You want to blow your back out, quick out of the bottom. You don't explode until this weight is up around the knee area. And then it's all hip, knee, ankle, traps. Okay. So you're here, slow at the bottom, I explode, and I'm going to catch the weight here. And it's all about catching the weight. Okay? It's catching the weight. Okay, I'll switch it. One of those was too slow. Did you see that? I moved too slow. I was a little concerned about how quickly I was going to throw. But you shouldn't worry about that. Explode, boom, catch. If anything, the weight, I mean, you're not really doing anything from here to here until you catch. I want to show you something. A lot of people, maybe you say, you know, I want to try something like clean. I kind of like the snatch. The weight never gets away from your body. Okay? It's always here. Then you release it, and then you catch it. Let me show you. Okay? See that? Okay. So, for a more advanced move, I put a pull, a snatch there, and I got all sorts of other benefits as well. All right? But that is advanced. It isn't so much that I expect anybody to do that right now. It's just that I expect you to realize, hey, I potentially could do that. All right? So that's the pull. And let's go ahead and do a push. And the reason I want to show you some things that seem a little bit out there is because I used to be just a huge resistance training guy. And I can do a handful of things today that I couldn't do 6 months ago. Was it painful? Was it difficult initially? Yeah. But I just said, you know, look, I know my knees aren't bad. I know that my shoulder, I can work through this. And I'm going to be in a lot better shape as a 50-year-old and hopefully even as a 60-year-old than it was even as a 40-year-old. So these are the kind of things that I want to convey to you. So let's go ahead and take a look at dumbbell chest press, or let's call it power blocks. When I roll down this ball, you want to rest your head on the ball. Once again, I wouldn't do this if you didn't have an anti-burst ball. Engage the core, engage the glutes, hamstrings, keep the feet right underneath the knees. Remember I said you're going to get 30 to 40% weaker here. You can see the tempo, nice and slow. Keeping tension on the muscle the entire range of motion. The elbow goes to the shoulder. If it's a light weight for you, maybe a little bit deeper. But you go too deep here, the pec can't help you. The stress is going off the contractile tissue and on the connective tissue. So if you want to blow your shoulder out, go down in here every single time and come out of the bottom, and sooner or later you'll have a blown out shoulder. But if you just want to work the pec, elbow to the shoulder. A little tired, resisted range of motion. I'm going to decrease the range of motion. One more. So did you catch that? When you're working the chest, you don't need to have that elbow going beneath the shoulder. Especially if the weight's heavy and it's difficult for you. Certainly if it's light, like it's 20, 30 pounds, yeah. But I start getting up 50, 60, 90, 100, 110 pounds. I want to start decreasing my range of motion because the stress will go off the contractile tissue and go on the connective tissue. And you do not want to get to the bottom and have to create force and actually use kind of a elasticity or a rubber band effect to get out of the bottom. And that can be true on every movement. That's why I said if you're going to do a full squat, kind of butt to the ground, you don't need to move load, especially as you're getting stronger. Just use your body weight. All right? Did you notice that resisted range of motion? What that is, there's no reason, let's say, just get out of your mind, oh, I mean, I'd like you to get 10 reps, but don't stop at 10. When you get tired and you can't get to here anymore, go to here. You have, say you have that many muscle fibers that can still create that contraction, all right? So, really fatigue that muscle. But you can't keep getting that same range of motion because you're getting weaker. That's resisted range of motion. Keep tension on the muscle, decrease your range of motion, and that range of motion will be safe and effective. All right, so let's go ahead and let's do something else a little fun. We've already done tons of lunges, and I've kind of added some other type of dumbbell moves. So let's go ahead and come back to this. Now, with the jumbo gym, now you could just set your foot up on something. The idea here is, remember I said when we were lunging, it's kind of a one-legged squat with balance. And that's the same thing this is going to be. So what you can do here is I can set my foot in here, See, and you also could set that on the back, let's say, of a front of a chair. And then you step out. You get that big, see, I can get some pretty good range of motion, but you're just kind of trying to prepare yourself for the one-legged squat. But see how I'm moving my hands? Remember we talked about armpit in the pocket? Yeah, you don't do anything different. Okay? Yeah, I'll try the other side. To me, that movement's a little counterintuitive. You see how I was struggling with my hands? Because you actually want to come up like this. But because you're bending down in a funny position, it seems a little counterintuitive to me. But once again, just the same way we did the pulling movement, the one-arm snatch. Okay, it's very advanced. But this is what I was saying. This is one of those movements, I wasn't doing anything unilaterally with one leg. And when I was, I had a lot of help with the other leg. So this was really challenging. And when I say challenging, not only hard, not only did it cause me some real soreness, but there were parts of my body that didn't want to do it. My back wasn't sure, my knee wasn't sure. So I just decreased the range of motion. And I just kept getting stronger. Just the same way you will. All right? Okay, this last yoga move is excellent for the shoulder girdle, excellent for core strength. You could call it like the side pillar, side plank. Starting out in the inclined plane. And then just drop your feet and look to your hands. Keep your hip up. Your spine should be straight. Give me 3 breaths. Okay. Now, if you want to make it a little bit more difficult, instead of having both feet on the ground, go ahead and put one foot on top of the other. So now all you have is one hand and one foot on the ground. All right? Incline plane. Rotate over. I'm going to move my left foot on top of my right foot on top of my left. I guess we probably don't have to guess who hasn't been doing that one lately. But there's so many moves, you know, unless you keep doing them, you're going to find the next time you do them, you're not going to be quite as good as you were when you finished. But that's an awesome one. Because when you're having to pull your hip up to keep your spine neutral, excellent core. Excellent, excellent core move. Okay, so why don't I do the quadratus lumborum stretch? That was kind of the most complicated one, and we'll be all done. Move back on my haunches, I shoot my hip over, I reach, and I should feel it, not only my lats, but down in my low, 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 low back. Come back up, back on the haunches. Shoot over, reach across. Center up, and you're done. Okay, that's it. Went through 3 times. So you can see how challenging this is going to be if you hit that 4th time through. It's a lot of work, but all the moves are going to balance out, improve your posture, improve your range of motion, improve your strength within those ranges of motion. Safe, it's effective, and please don't be discouraged about some of the advanced moves I showed you. What I'm really trying to convey there, as I've said numerous times, you have to have goals. You know, no more are we going to have people just say, oh, you can't. You're going to quit saying, I can't. You can say, I won't. But you know, put the responsibility on who it should be on. And if you work with somebody like myself, who's going to be working with you as a nutritionist, personal trainer, and a lifestyle coach, the idea is, as Anthony Robbins said, is being in the state of CANI, constant and never-ending improvement. So if you think about it that way, you know, you can take little baby steps and you can be a long ways away in a year. It's just that when we try to take big steps, we get nowhere, and then we take more steps backwards because we get so frustrated and disappointed in ourselves. Anyway, so this is your last video of the 7-day healthcare e-course, and tomorrow is going to be predominantly review and getting back, just focusing on the basics, what you should have been able to get out of the entire program from the Healthy Omnivore. So anyway, I really appreciate your time, and this is Kevin with the Healthy Omnivore, and thank you.